You just posted a video you spent 12 hours on. 3 hours later, 17 views. Your thumb's already opening the analytics tab again, isn't it? That compulsive checking isn't a habit you fix with discipline. It's your nervous system convinced your survival depends on a number you can't control. And before you tell yourself you're being dramatic, let me ask you this. When was the last time you went a full day without checking your stats? When was the last time you posted something and didn't immediately start refreshing the page? If you can't remember, you're not alone. And you're definitely not broken. I'm Shad, and if you're a content creator who's ever felt like the algorithm is actively trying to destroy your life, this video is for you. Because what you're experiencing isn't weakness, it's a legitimate trauma response that nobody's talking about. The creator economy has created millions of people whose livelihoods depend on systems they can't predict or control. And that's not just stressful, it's traumatizing in the clinical sense of the word. Today, we're going to unpack why your brain treats algorithm changes like life or death situations, and more importantly, what you can do about it. A November 2025 study of 542 North American creators found something alarming. 52% reported anxiety symptoms, 35% had depression, and 10% experienced suicidal thoughts connected to their work. That's nearly double the rate in the general population. But here's what really caught my attention. These weren't struggling creators. The average participant had been creating content for 3 years and earned between $30,000 and $70,000 annually. Success didn't protect them from the psychological toll. If anything, it made the pressure worse because now they had something to lose. But here's what really got me. 65% of creators admitted to obsessing over content performance. And when their content underperformed, 58% said their self-worth took a direct hit. Sound familiar? We're not talking about mild disappointment here. We're talking about creators who describe physical symptoms, racing heart, sweating palms, insomnia, when their numbers drop. One participant said watching her reach decline felt like watching her house burn down. Another said algorithm changes gave him panic attacks so severe he thought he was having heart problems. These aren't metaphors. These are trauma responses. Let me tell you about Marcus. He's a YouTube creator with 40,000 subscribers, and every morning he wakes up at 6 a.m. to check his overnight numbers. Not because he wants to, because his body physically won't let him sleep until he knows. He's tried setting boundaries. He's tried leaving his phone in another room. But his nervous system has learned that checking those numbers is a survival behavior. His brain literally treats not knowing his view count the same way it would treat not knowing if there's a predator nearby. The anxiety builds until he checks, gets temporary relief, then starts the cycle all over again. When his latest video only got 300 views in the first hour instead of his usual 1,000, Marcus felt his chest tighten. His hands started shaking. He couldn't eat breakfast. His girlfriend asked if he was okay, and he snapped at her. Then he spent the next 4 hours researching why his video wasn't performing, checking the analytics every 10 minutes, scrolling through comments looking for clues. By noon, he'd convinced himself his channel was dying and he should probably start looking for a regular job. All because of 700 missing views. This isn't rational thinking, this is a nervous system in full alarm mode. Marcus thinks he has a discipline problem, but what he actually has is a nervous system that's been hijacked by an unpredictable reward system. And that's not his fault, it's how trauma responses work. See, trauma isn't just big dramatic events like car accidents or abuse. Trauma is what happens when your nervous system gets overwhelmed by something unpredictable and threatening to your sense of safety. And algorithms. They're basically unpredictability machines designed to keep you engaged at any cost. Your nervous system doesn't care that it's just a computer program. It only cares that your livelihood depends on something you can't predict or control. Think about it this way. You spend weeks creating content, pour your heart into it, hit publish, and then your fate is decided by a black box algorithm that nobody fully understands, not even the people who built it. Instagram changes their algorithm, and suddenly your reach drops by 60% overnight. YouTube decides your content isn't advertiser-friendly and demonetizes your channel without warning. TikTok shadow bans you for reasons they won't explain. These platforms have trained millions of people to depend on systems that are intentionally opaque and constantly changing. It's like trying to make a living in a casino where they change the rules every few hours and don't tell you what the new rules are. 77% of creators report frequent algorithm changes affecting their work. 67% say the lack of transparency is a major stressor. But here's the thing that really gets me, 43% of creators said they've changed their content to try to please the algorithm, even when it meant creating stuff they didn't actually want to make. You're literally trying to succeed in a game where the rules change without warning, and the only way to win is to abandon your creative vision and chase metrics instead. No wonder your nervous system is freaking out. It's supposed to freak out when your survival strategy requires you to betray your own values. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a saber-toothed tiger and a sudden drop in reach. Both trigger the same fight-or-flight response. Both flood your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Both make you feel like your survival is at stake. The difference is, our ancestors could fight the tiger or run away, and the threat would be over. But algorithm anxiety never ends. The threat is always there, always unpredictable, always potentially devastating to your income. Your nervous system is stuck in a permanent state of hypervigilance, scanning for threats that you can't fight and can't escape. That's not anxiety, that's a completely rational response to an irrational situation. And here's the kicker. When your income depends on algorithm performance, your survival actually is at stake. 69% of creators say financial instability affects their mental health. 38% have no savings because their income is too unpredictable to plan ahead. 27% have taken on debt to keep creating content during slow periods. Your nervous system isn't overreacting when it treats a drop in engagement like a threat to your survival. It's responding appropriately to a genuinely threatening situation. The problem isn't your reaction, the problem is the system that created this situation in the first place. This creates what I call the algorithm trauma cycle. First, you get a dopamine hit from good performance. Your video goes viral, your followers spike, maybe you make some good money. Your nervous system learns that this feeling equals safety and success. Then the algorithm changes, your numbers drop, and you crash hard. The withdrawal from that dopamine high feels like genuine loss because to your brain, it is genuine loss. Your nervous system learns that safety equals engagement metrics, and anything that threatens those metrics becomes a threat to your survival. So you start checking more frequently, posting more desperately, chasing that high that gets harder and harder to achieve. But the worst part? You start checking more frequently, thinking that'll give you control. It doesn't. It just trains your nervous system to be hypervigilant about metrics. Every notification becomes a potential threat or reward. Every time you check and see good numbers, you get a little hit of relief. Every time you check and see bad numbers, you get a shot of panic. But here's the cruel irony: the more you check, the more your nervous system becomes convinced that constant monitoring is necessary for survival. You're not getting more control. You're getting more addicted to the very thing that's traumatizing you. Let me tell you about Sarah. She started posting daily because she was afraid the algorithm would forget her if she took a break. Now she can't take a single day off without feeling physically ill. She's tried to take vacations, but she ends up posting from the beach because the anxiety of not posting is worse than working on her time off. That's not dedication, that's hypervigilance. Her nervous system has learned that consistent content creation equals safety, and any break from that routine triggers a full panic response. She's essentially become a prisoner of her own success, trapped in a cycle where she has to keep producing to feel safe, but the constant production is burning her out. So how do you break the cycle? First, you have to understand that your nervous system is trying to protect you. It's not broken, it's responding to broken systems. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, then let's teach it better strategies. The goal isn't to stop caring about your metrics entirely. That's not realistic when your livelihood depends on them. The goal is to teach your nervous system that your safety doesn't require constant monitoring, and that your worth as a person isn't determined by algorithm performance. This takes time and patience with yourself, but it's absolutely possible. Step 1, create algorithm-free zones. Pick 1 hour every day where you don't check any metrics. Not your views, not your followers, not your comments, nothing. Start with just 1 hour if that's all you can manage. Set a timer, put your phone in another room, and do something completely unrelated to content creation. Read a book, take a walk, call a friend who isn't a creator. Your nervous system needs to remember that safety doesn't require constant monitoring. It needs to experience that you can survive and even thrive without knowing your exact follower count at every moment of the day. Step 2, diversify your validation sources. Right now, the algorithm is your only feedback system, which gives it way too much power over your emotional state. But what if you had 5 other ways to measure success? Community engagement quality, not just quantity. Skill improvement, are you getting better at your craft? Creative satisfaction, are you proud of what you're making? Financial stability from multiple income streams, not just ad revenue. Personal growth, what are you learning about yourself and your field? When algorithm metrics are just one of many success indicators, they lose their power to devastate you. Marcus started tracking how many thoughtful comments he got instead of just view counts. He realized that his most meaningful videos often had lower view counts, but generated deeper conversations. Sarah began measuring how much she learned each week and how many new skills she developed. Both reported feeling less anxious within 2 weeks because their worth wasn't tied to one unpredictable number anymore. They still cared about their metrics, but those metrics weren't the only thing determining whether they felt successful or like failures. The algorithm became one voice in a chorus of feedback, not the only voice that mattered. Step 3, practice nervous system regulation. When you feel that familiar panic about your numbers, try this grounding technique. Take 4 deep breaths in for 4 counts, hold for 4, out for 4. Then name 3 things you can see, 2 things you can hear, and 1 thing you can touch. This pulls you out of the anxiety spiral and grounds you in the present moment instead of the catastrophic future your brain is imagining. The goal isn't to eliminate the anxiety completely. It's to give your nervous system a different response option when the panic hits. With practice, you can catch the spiral earlier and redirect it before it takes over your entire day. Step 4, build real community outside of metrics. 89% of creators in that study never had access to mental health resources specifically for creators. 2/3 had never joined a creator community or support group. Isolation makes trauma responses worse because your brain starts to believe that you're the only one struggling, which makes the struggle feel more threatening. Find your people, online creator groups, local meetups, even just one other creator you can text when you're spiraling. Having people who understand what you're going through reminds your nervous system that you're not alone in this fight. And here's something most people won't tell you: it's okay to feel angry about this situation. You're not weak for struggling with systems designed to be addictive and unpredictable. You're not broken for having trauma responses to traumatic circumstances. The platforms profit from your anxiety because anxious creators check their apps more often, post more frequently, and stay engaged longer. Your mental health struggles are literally part of their business model. Being angry about that isn't ungrateful, it's appropriate. Channel that anger into protecting your mental health instead of blaming yourself for having normal human responses to abnormal circumstances. The platforms won't fix this for you because they profit from the current system. But you can fix it for yourself by treating algorithm anxiety like what it is: a trauma response that deserves compassion and proper treatment, not shame and self-discipline. This isn't about becoming less ambitious or caring less about your success. It's about building a sustainable relationship with metrics that doesn't require you to sacrifice your mental health. You can be successful and mentally healthy at the same time. You just need better tools than the ones the platforms want you to use. 3 months later, Marcus still checks his analytics, but only twice a day at scheduled times. He sets a timer for 15 minutes, and when it goes off, he closes the app whether he's done analyzing or not. Sarah took her first weekend off in 2 years and didn't have a panic attack. She posted a video explaining her break to her audience and got more support than she expected. Their numbers didn't magically improve overnight, but their lives did. They sleep better, fight with their partners less, and actually enjoy creating content again. That's worth more than any viral video. Your worth isn't determined by an algorithm that changes every few months. Your safety doesn't depend on view counts that you can't control. And your nervous system can learn new patterns, it just needs patience and practice. Start with 1 algorithm-free hour today. Find one other way to measure your success this week. Practice that grounding technique the next time you feel the panic rising. Your future self will thank you for choosing mental health over metrics, even when the algorithm is screaming that your survival depends on the opposite.